Hi guys, it's Mrs. Alberts here and welcome back to my channel. Right, so we start with FIELA second Bedryf 3. Okay, in Act 1, we've got a massive time jump. Lucas is now about 19, Nina is about 17. There's a 7-year gap. We've got Lucas's voice over the speaker about giving us a little bit of background information of Nina getting work in Knysna, and that is where they're on their way. So we have Nina now going to work for 4 shillings a week and then get food and clothing. But Elias tells Lucas to walk with her to Diepwalle. It is because he doesn't trust her. He thinks she's going to run away. Now Nina is very upset. She doesn't want to leave the forest. She's angry with Lucas because he is the one that now basically is taking her there. She says she's nobody's maid. She does not want to look after children. Lucas, on the other hand, says to her, you know, that this is a better thing. You're escaping. You're going to have your own money. And then she says, no, but it's not her money. It is actually Dad's money. Here we learn that all the money that she's going to work for is going to go right into Elias's pocket. She's also angry because she knows that the townspeople, they mock the forest dwellers, and it's because they are uneducated, because they are dirty, because they've got no manners. And I want to say it's good, but I mean there's a reason why they mock them, and she doesn't want to be that outsider. And Nina wants to know if she does run away from her work on Knysna, that Lucas will just help her and cover for her if her dad wants to hit her. And then Lucas says, please do not run away, stay in town. The reason he wants her to have a new life, and this is in his eyes a better life and a new life for her. Then we go to the ocean, where we have a little bit of background again. Nina has run away. She's not working where she was supposed to be working. They haven't heard from her in a month. And then Lucas is allowed to go there to go and look for her. When he arrives in town, however, there's a scuffle. People are very excited. They are running to Nutsi because they've seen a ghost ship. Now this ghost ship, we will learn later a little bit more about that, but it sounds intriguing to Lucas, so he decides, instead of going to find Nina now, what's the harm in going to look at this ghost ship? So he meets this man called Armstrong, and they have a nice discussion there about this ghost ship, which is in fact not a ghost ship, but a ship that arrived at port with nobody on it. No crew member, no captain, no passengers, no nothing. It is lying on the rocks close to Nutsi, and it is being smashed by the waves. With nobody on it, there's no way of getting it safely into the harbor. Lucas is very upset about this because he wants to save the ship, but there's unfortunately nothing they can do. It's better for the ship to be smashed and get away from other ships trying to get into the harbor. Armstrong notices that Lucas is from the forest, and he notes that it's very strange for somebody to speak to townspeople when you come from the forest. We see Lucas looking up at the stars constantly. That's because he hasn't seen the stars in such a long time. Then Lucas finds Nina at Mrs. Weatherbury. Not at, but he goes to Miss Weatherbury. And they have a nice discussion with Miss Weatherbury, who says that Nina does work for her, and that she is quite a wild child. At first, Miss Weatherbury obviously does not believe that she is in fact Lucas's sister, because Nina lied to her and said that she has no family, which is a typical Nina thing. And then when she asks why he's looking for Nina, and the money issue is raised, how the money needs to go to her father, she is very upset. Miss Weatherbury doesn't want the money to go to the father. It is Nina's money. She has worked for it, and she doesn't believe in all of that. So then finally, when we do see Nina in this act, we see Nina being the same old. She's very upset. She says if Dad wants to work, he must get off his ass and work for himself. She's not sending any money to him anymore. She is done with all of that. So we see a fiery Nina being introduced to Lucas, but she doesn't even greet him. She's not happy to see him, obviously, because she also sees him as part of the oppression part of the person who's taking her money. And obviously he didn't stand up for her when she didn't want to leave the forest. He helped her out of the forest, basically. So there's a little bit of a not so good welcome. Then Lucas asks her for a favor. He says, for all the times that I have covered for you, for all the times that I've helped you chopping wood, I ask you one favor. Just go home and tell Dad that I am not coming back. Now, we've discussed this in class, remember? He is not cowardice when he does this. Nina is the better one to go home because Elias has no reason to keep her there. So she's free to leave at any time. When Lucas goes back, there's two parts. First of all, we don't know what Elias would do to him. But we do know that Lucas is in fact a good boy. And back in those days, if your father said something to you, you would stay there. He wouldn't fight with his dad, and he would show father, even though he doesn't love Elias, he will show him the respect that he deserves in this time, day and age. So he would then have felt compelled to stay. And he doesn't want to do that. So if he sends Nina, Nina would not be compelled to stay, and therefore it's kind of like a win-win. Right, Act 2, we meet Khalil September. Khalil is the fisherman that plays a role in Lucas's freedom, I want to say, where he gets to know that he loves the ocean and that he wants to row, and he has more time in the ocean. At the ocean, sorry. We see that Khalil September is a rower. He works for John Ben. He says to him that if you want work, you need to speak to John Ben. We also see here that Khalil offers Lucas that he can work for him in exchange for him to learn how to row. Then we have Nina, who appears at the scene where she was looking for him. Where Lucas was looking for her for days. Remember Nina now in the previous scene, she left to go to the forest to tell Elias that Lucas was not coming back. Now after meeting Khalil September and working with him for a while, we see Nina coming back. And there is quite a fiery meeting between the two. When I say fiery, I mean fighting, like he's fighting with her, saying that, you couldn't have been back, you couldn't have been gone to just go and tell Dad that I'm not coming back. You've been away for too long. Where have you been? And she says she was in the forest. She was with her bottles. Remember, the bottles is something that they share. And it's something that shows their relationship. But here he doesn't care about the bottles. He's just angry that she didn't come straight home, so that she was away for so long. So we can see that he does care about her quite a lot. She says she is back, yes, but not as a maid. She is now Miss Weatherbury's companion. A companion is somebody that basically just, it's lovely, I wish I could have that job. You are somebody's friend and you get paid for it. It's here that we find out that Lucas has more feelings towards Nina. It is in the script basically saying that when he hugs her, he has feelings for her that is not normal. Okay, so now Lucas is upset because he has feelings for her. But obviously Nina is his sister, so he feels that it's wrong. We all felt that it was wrong when we saw and read this section. Then Nina warns Lucas that Elias is going to come and look for him. We also have Nina now giving a message to Lucas, a message from Laiki that works for Boss Petrus. They were looking for Benjamin Kamuti in the forest. Benjamin Kamuti lived in the Lange Kloof. The message was that his brother David died. So David is dood. We also find here that she lied and said that Lucas was away with a ship, so she came and brought the message to Lucas. This is devastating news for Lucas. Remember, David was his brother, his eldest brother. Then he decides that he is going to go to Langekloof. So he's returning to Langekloof to deal with this. And we see this to and fro between him and Nina, where Nina gives him these doubting questions. What if they don't remember you? What if they don't recognize you? What if? Which shows you that she now has developed feelings. We don't know whether this is romantic feelings, but she definitely does not want him going back. The reason she doesn't want him going back, and she also explains that later in the scene, is the fact that if he goes back, he will never be Lucas van Rooyen again, and then she will lose her best friend, she will lose her brother, and she knows she will never see him again. So that is her resentment towards him, why she doesn't want him to go. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, if you've got any questions, you can follow me on Instagram at Afrikaans Classroom. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos, like and share.